Hi everyone, welcome to the channel, and in this video we're going to be tying the red hollow ribbed Diawl Bach. You can see one in the vise there. I've got to say it's probably my favourite Diawl Bach pattern, and it catches me an awful lot of fish. Why it's so effective I don't know, but often I'll couple this fly with a Booby on the point, fast glass line, and maybe another one of these on the top dropper. So two of these, a Booby, and yeah, more often than not I catch fish all day. Before I get into the tying, just take a look at the materials required to dress this fly. So the hook size is 10, you can use 12s as well. I tend to favour a heavy wire hook on this pattern, purely because it's a workhorse pattern for me, and I find the heavier wire or heavier gauge wire tends to put up with a bit more abuse than a finer wire hook. So in this instance it's a Camasan B175 size 10. The tie-in silk is fluorescent fire orange in 70 denier. The tail whisks and throat Hackle is red game. The body is magenta Peacock Herl, and the rib is red holographic in medium, I believe. Yeah, medium. So let's get on to it. So because I haven't got a lot to tie in at the eye, what I'm going to do is just straight behind the eye and then take close touching turns until I reach the hook point. There we go. So snip off that waist and then get some Hackle fibres. So I was asked, having tied a different fly, what Hackle fibres do I use? They are off a Chinese cock cape really, and I don't use any of the feathers that are near the neck. I generally use the waist hackles, which tend to reside, they're almost saddle feathers in a way, but they're not quite saddle feathers, but they are the larger ones at the tail of the hackle. So even though they're designated cock hackle fibres, in a roundabout way they're kind of henny cock hackles, if that makes sense. So anyway, what I've done is I've tied in the tail, wound up to the head, and that waist I'll just fold back over. Let me take one or two more turns. Just fold back over just to give it a bit of when I tie it in, it gives the fly a bit of form or a bit of profile. And then if I snip those off, we can take one or two more fibres, and you can see there's a small lump for the thorax, I suppose. So on the way down I'll also tie in the holographic red tinsel. So just having snipped off the waist, what I'll do, place the rib and tie on back down. There we go. So as ever with any of my Diawl Bachs, I only ever use a single strand, and in this case it's magenta Peacock Herl. So I've pulled off the fragile tip, and now I'll wind that, tie it in and wind it all the way more or less to the eye. So let's do that. There we go. And try and get in close touching turns if you can. Doesn't matter. It does seem that in certain circumstances the fluorescent fire orange tie-in silk shining through does add a little bit of an edge. So tied it forward, tied it back, and then just pull off the waist there. So 4 or 5 turns now. 2, 3, 4, and we'll put the 5th one round the headlock. Fold that over, and then take the tie-in silk back towards the body before snipping off the waist, and then all that leaves is to get some more cock hackle fibres, off them up. I like them the length of the body there, and then I'll just gently pull those up. Check on the position. Yeah, they're nice. If they aren't, what you can do is you can get your thumbnail and just use them to spread those fibres. So that's a better position there. And just take off that waist there. Take your whip finish tool and form a small head. It's always good to wind away from the eye so the tie-in silk doesn't collapse back on itself, but just keeps building that head into a nice conical shape. Look, so once we've done that, take it off, and just a little I'll use UV resin on this one. Usually I use varnish, but I'll use some UV resin on this one. It'll give me a nice head, but also it'll demonstrate something I want to show you. So just drop that on there. Make sure all those turns of tie-in silk are covered, just to make sure they're secure. And of course the head is as much an important part of the fly as any of the other parts of the dressing. So the resin's on, and what I want to show you really is when I expose it to the UV light, you can see that fluorescent fire orange tie-in silk does offer a key point on the fly, or a highlight on the fly. So there we have it, a very simple but effective fly, and one you need in your box. So it just leaves me to say thanks for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll speak to you in the next one. Thanks then.